Galactic and Earth History. Part 5. Researched, written, and produced by Aaron Scudder. Special thanks to Ashiana Dean for source material. Since Atlantis, the plan has been to control the narrative, create holy books such as the Bible, and insert themselves as the gods who will save humanity when it is time for a full-scale invasion. The biblical narrative has been changed so that people will worship an external god, not realizing the divinity within themselves. The plan was to set up subtle contact through the channeling movement with their races. These hybrid races have Anunnaki or draconian souls within. Our memory has been erased, DNA interfered distorted, and we have been taught that we are one race. The channeling movement started about 100 years ago with the spiritualism movement. This is when the Anunnaki started to connect with their hybrids. The hybrids look like any other human and have no idea they are hybrids. Anunnaki biology is not suitable for the Earth. Therefore, hybrids were created to enable them to control humanity by proxy. Over the last 100 years, a progressive passive invasion has been taking place, part of an invasion plan that was created in 9570 BCE by the fallen Anu Elohim Anunnaki races. This invasion plan was called the Luciferian Covenant Agreement. The Elohim are not to be confused with the Elohai Guardian race from which humans are descended. There are numerous groups of Anunnaki, many of whom are at war with each other. In 9570 BCE, several competing groups of Anunnaki, the Pleiadian and the Nibiruian Anunnaki, agreed to a plan for invasion. The Luciferian Covenant Agreement was a step-by-step plan. The first step was to level the playing field by wiping out most of humanity during Noah's flood in 9558 BCE. The technology used to create cataclysm and pole shift is called the Atlantean Pylon Implant Network or APIN system. The APIN system is comprised of selenite quartz crystal implants at various locations around the planetary grids. The APIN system would receive frequency transmissions from other planetary systems. The APIN system was used to reverse the natural balance of Earth's magnetic fields, which messed up humanity's DNA. After the DNA distortion, humans were no longer angelic, brain waves were no longer coherent, the hormonal system was disrupted, and an 800-year lifespan was reduced to about 80 to 100 years. The APIN system was created to control the planet and the halls of Amenti when the next stellar activation cycle began. Stellar activation is the only time that the fallen angels can access the halls of Amenti. The wrathful, vengeful God of the Old Testament is the fallen angelic Anunnaki, playing God, who piggybacked into what used to be sacred texts and inserted their agendas into our holy book. The story of Revelation is an invasion plan written by the Jehovian Anunnaki. However, there is a version of events where the founders' races would come back and bring the D12 frequencies that would seal the portals and protect the planetary grids. There are several different competing invading forces, and the invasion plan is culminating currently. Humanity has been manipulated into destroying the environment and, through constant warfare, is on the brink of catastrophe where the fallen angelic will introduce themselves as saviors who will stop the fighting and restore the environment. World War III is a silent invasion. The fallen races have united in an agenda of causing a planetary pole shift, which would cause a cataclysm that would clear the real estate and remove life from the surface of the Earth. 2 wormholes were created during Atlantis in the Bermuda Triangle off the east coast of America in the Atlantic Ocean. In 1943, one of these wormholes was connected to a grid system in the Philadelphia Naval Yard during the Philadelphia experiment, and in 1983, a wormhole was connected to Montauk, New York. The wormholes are part of a huge APIN system that follows grid lines that span the globe. Sonic pulses from the APIN system are used to create targeted earthquakes and hurricanes. The invasion of Earth. The Anunnaki created an invasion plan called the Luciferian Covenant in Atlantis, which has been unfolding slowly. We are in the middle of a huge drama, and there is a metaphysical cause behind the drama unfolding around us. On September 11, 2001, the world witnessed an event that had far-reaching implications. The attacks on the Trade Center and Pentagon happened because of events resulting from the agreements made by governments and the Illuminati with the Zeta aliens in the 1930s. The attacks of 9/11 are connected to the Montauk Project and the Philadelphia experiment, which in turn are connected to the APIN system created during Atlantis. The fallen angelic needed to activate an APIN site under the World Trade Center. The Illuminati needed to provide a false narrative for the Trade Center buildings to collapse because the activation of the wormhole would create a great disturbance that would bring down the buildings. Another reason for the Trade Center's false flag narrative was to create a false pretense to invade Iraq and Afghanistan. The war served the dual purpose of removing unwanted populations and getting key Illuminati people in positions of government who have territories that have stargates, key lines, or Q sites. The Montauk base was shut down in 1992, and the Montauk project could not operate because its wormhole had been closed. In 1998, the Anunnaki opened the wormhole again and put it into full-scale operation. The wormholes are connected to the APIN systems around the planet. There are 4 networks of APIN systems. One of these that runs down the east coast of America into South America is called the Serpent. The Illuminati lost control of the game in the 1930s when governments made agreements with the Zetas. The Anunnaki were losing control of the APIN system to the Zeta and their allies, the Draconians and Necromandanadrimi. These aliens were not effective when they were fighting among themselves for control of the grids. The Indigos started to wake up and bring D12 frequency into the grids of the Earth, closing the wormholes. Once the wormhole was closed, the fallen angelic couldn't come through the wormhole. The biggest threat to the alien invasion is the fact that human DNA is keyed to activate with a frequency that the planet is now beginning to receive from the frequency that is coming off the sun in the solar light spectra. The competing alien races decided to form an alliance and stop the Indigos. Because of the work that is being done by Indigo and Guardian groups, the DNA is activating on a 12-code pulse. 12th dimensional frequency is the enemy of the fallen angelic races because they cannot override or move through it. We are in a war of frequency, and the way to win is by critical mass, which means that whoever has the most frequency wins. It was known from 220,326 BCE that the founders were coming back as the Indigo children to make sure that the Phantom Matrix was sealed permanently because it had grown larger than this time matrix and would make this time matrix in. If this planet is sucked into the Phantom Matrix, then it will also affect other planets and galaxies. Earth is connected to the Pleiades, Sirius, Arcturus, and Orion star systems, which are in turn connected to the Andromeda Galaxy. There is a chain of 12 universal stargates that will all be pulled into the black hole Phantom Matrix. People need to pay more attention to the problem. If the problem had been easy to fix, it would have been done a long time ago. The cultural structure of society since Atlantis is built on the Anunnaki model is exploitive, with small groups exploiting and taking energy from large groups. There should not be starvation on this planet, as human society was once based on love, understanding, and peace. There was no monetary system that exploited people. There is a civilization style that is natural for humans, and it is a way for them to hold an awareness of love within themselves and others. For many millennia, there have purposely been invasions on Earth to get control of the Earth when stellar activations occur. The fallen angels need stellar activation to take this planet into the Phantom Matrix black hole, and human DNA in the reverse rotation is needed for this to happen. Stellar activations can happen once every 26,556 years, and the activation will only occur if the planet can hold the frequencies. The last stellar activation took place in 208,216 BCE. It was a mess and created a pole shift and an invasion. This dark cycle was almost fixed in 22,326 BCE, but we got invaded again by the Anunnaki. This event was called the Eni Massacre. The Eni in Lemuria had a grid system to counter the Apin grid system, called the Alpine or the Lemurian Pylon Implant Network. The Alpine system utilizes higher mechanics of sacred physics and has been dormant since the Atlantean period. The Leonine founders race created the Lion Grid, which has a configuration on the Earth's grid like a lion, and the eagle Alpine is shaped like an eagle with wings outspread. The largest and most powerful Alpine system is the Four Faces of Man and is shaped like four heads. The mission that started in 22,326 BCE was to activate the Four Faces of the Man grid. The Four Faces of the Man grid were connected to two others like it, one on parallel Earth and the other on the inner Earth. This made a total of 12 faces, and they were known as the guardians of the 12 pillars. When these pillars were activated, they would create inaudible pillars of sound that would link Earth, parallel Earth, and inner Earth together and allow them to plug into another time matrix where there wasn't this problem. With the time matrix connected, the Earth would have enough frequency so that it would not be pulled down into the black hole matrix, and a permanent cap could be put on the black hole matrix. The black hole system is bigger and has drawn so much energy from our system that it is now bigger than ours. Now, it is no longer possible to rescue the black hole matrix, and the connection from our time matrix needs to be severed from the black hole matrix. What happens to souls when they leave the body? Since 25,500 BCE, most souls have been hijacked as soon as a person begins to die. When a person dies, their consciousness begins to rise in frequency, and the body lowers in frequency, and they separate. The soul raises in frequency and should connect with the dimension 5, D5, level of consciousness. Fallen angels have sealed off the ability to connect with D5. With no connection to higher dimensions, souls have been siphoned off and dragged into the phantom matrix. There is an attempt by the founders to seal off that connection to the phantom matrix. The founders' races had tried to save the phantom matrix, but the rescue mission did not go well, and this time matrix was almost sucked into the phantom matrix. Right now, we are at a critical moment that will not only determine the destiny of this planet but all planets in this time matrix. If Earth goes down, it will also take the Pleiades, Arcturus, and Orion systems and progressively drag all planetary systems in a chain reaction to the phantom matrix planetary time cycle. The false images of self that humanity has been raised with since Atlantis. Most people do not acknowledge that Atlantis existed, as we have been given false belief systems, religion, and history. If we look at how violent humanity has become, we can trace that violence to the ideas that people have been raised with. These belief systems have created a distorted image of self and encourage violence and selfishness. The consequences of false belief systems have been devastating. We have ideologies that came from Atlantis about science and religion and have been taught that science and religion are not compatible. Religions teach that there are several gods who are like bossy parents who have a bad temper. The Old Testament of Judaism, Islam, and Christianity tell of a jealous and angry God that punishes people with hell, reward those who obey, and if you are lucky, you might go up to heaven when you die. What makes these religions popular is the idea of a devil, where every horrible thing is attributed to him. A belief in the devil makes the jealous, angry Father God a better option because if you do not do exactly as he say, the devil will taunt you for eternity with sharp objects inserted into your nether regions. For people who do not accept the dogma of the Christianity, Islam, or Judaism, the other choice is science, which teaches a mechanical view of the universe and tells us that we have probably evolved from primates, and before that, pond scum, and before that, a big bang that happened a long time ago. This scientific view portrays the universe as being created out of chaos, and that the structure of the universe and life is accidental, without intelligent design. The idea of a chaotic universe lends itself to the belief that there is no purpose to life. If the universe has no purpose, then humanity has no purpose. Science teaches us that there is nothing after life, and when a person dies, they cease to exist. Science also teaches that consciousness is a product of the body mechanism, which also ceases to exist after death. This means that we have a limited lifespan to enjoy a purposeless existence. On one hand, there is the nihilism of science, and on the other, the various competing, warlike gods, including Allah, Jehovah, Buddha, who have different agendas. The ideas of science and religion have created enormous damage because humanity has become lost, does not remember where it came from, and has no sense of purpose. Deep down, most people are in pain, living without meaning, and if life is purposeless, then why bother searching for truth? There are compensation mechanisms built into the human psyche because of these sick ideas that we have been raised on. Religion provides hope that eases the misery of living in a purposeless universe by promising something after death. Another lie that is perpetuated through various religions is that human beings are insignificant in comparison to God. Religions teach that people are subjugated or dominated by an authoritarian God figure who will only love you if you are obedient. These ideas are like being raised by a parent who is all-powerful and who will only love you if you follow and obey. If you dare to question the authority of the church, then you are excommunicated and possibly killed.